GPS. Does it remind you of something? Dora, don't speak.
I would say.
Does it remind you of something, this GPS? Well, yeah, more or less. Well, it so happens that it's our initials, but that's George Raptopoulos and George Apsaran, my co-presenter. But we loved it because, as I said, we liked the idea because that's our idea to spread Greek literature through English around the world. The idea started with Jo last year. She thought about, all right, literature, we love it. Look, I'll tell you more about the use of literature in the classroom. Why not spread our own Greek literature through English around the world? And she discussed the idea with me. I totally agreed because we both love literature. And then we set off. But Jo, who will be presenting later, had, well, we had three groups actually. A1 plus, B2, and C2. I'll tell you about my experience with C students, one of which is here, and I think two more are coming later. You want to ask them more about their own experience. Now, what I had to do was take an extract from Greek, in Greek, translate it into English already, or in my case, because I found nothing present in English and I couldn't use Zorba, it would be too obvious. And then evaluate it. Literary evaluation, simple, nothing too academic. Their own reactions to it, how they felt about the images they got, how they felt about the emotions, how language was used because they were C2. It was easier just because they were quite a high level. So I had to choose. I presented two or three to them. One of them was one of my favorites, Papadiamandis. But because they had studied at school to go too far, they said something else. So I chose an extract from a book, Travels in Greece, by Kostas Ouranis. And the particular one was about a unique place on the planet, Mount Athos. I know it's only Lucia has been.
I have been, yes.
The ladies, sorry, not yet. Hopefully soon enough. Which is rich in imagery, and emotions as well. The extract itself, the whole book, is full of emotions and images. And they had translated, unfortunately, because it was not translated in English. So in the first meeting, for me here, I'll tell you more about it if you ask her, I set the rules of commitment. But they had to translate it first into English. After me explaining all the basics of translation, that's to interpret literary translation, without moving too far from the original, and then to evaluate it. They agreed, fortunately, and we set off translating. I did some basics of translation with them, supplied them with thesauri, dictionaries, so they started off. Well, the idea of translating was not easy for them at all, the beginning at least, but then they loved it because they worked in groups, they worked in pairs. It was all in English, naturally. They had to negotiate meaning, negotiate choose the right word, a few words, choose the right phrase, choose the right sentence, etc., 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 etc. During that time, I had to also teach, I won't say teach, put them through the rudiments of evaluation, literary evaluation. So, that's two more of our project. Renia and Mascaris. Nice, can you please be seated? So, I said, all right, get them, well, through again the rudiments of literary evaluation. I chose something by William Golding, The Lord of the Flies. Just an extract from chapter 1, what else? The beginning. I believe many of you are familiar with it. First of all, because it was, well, not the setting itself, but the characters are close to their age. Were closer to their age. They were teenagers, these are young adults, 8 of them. And I also found a literary analysis of chapter 1 on the internet, what else. So we went through it, we saw the basics, and then we continued translating, and at the same time, evaluating. It took us about 3 months for meetings every week.
Once a week.
Yes, once a week. Thank you, Joe. The whole experience exhilarating for me at least. And I believe the same goes for them because you should have seen them in groups, in pairs, discussing. As I told you, talking about final points, translating. And after all the translation, well, the extract had finished, we agreed unanimously that the translation was wonderful. And then it was time for them to evaluate, which they did again in their own groups and their pairs. Our, well, in this case, my part of it, minimum. It was really minimal. I had to speak only when I had to speak, just to guide them around. Look at them. I mean, I might have pointed them to the right page in the dictionary, or the thesaurus. That was it. The discussion, the agreement, the decision was all theirs. True?
Yeah.
Then it was time to present, because they will, you will see a video of them presenting. They have to pick their roles each, what to present. I mean, Mascaris here presents Raptopoulos itself, with a wonderful speaking voice. You'll hear him. They had to prepare their own presentations, on their own. All I have to do is proofread. That's my job, proofread. A proof listener, to get ahead, I'm also a proof listener. And then it was time to make the review, which we'll be watching later.
Okay.
Now, during the whole process, we had a guardian angel here, making sure that we moved properly, the pace was right, providing us with cookies. We have a cookie monster here, actually two, one is me, the other one is the lady over there in the corner, and hot chocolate, and of course, with encouragement all the
So
time.
they've got the energy.
Coffee, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Coffee,
Coffee, hot chocolate, and
Whatever.
and plenty of water. Actually, we can't get thirsty. You'll see the video
Later
later,
on.
and Joe will also tell you about the younger groups. The work she did with the younger groups, A1 plus and B2, is fantastic. They chose poetry. It was easy for me, I chose prose. The younger groups chose poetry. Poem by Sapelis,
No,
oh,
and
sorry, and a poem by
you translated it. He doesn't remember what.
oh yes, because the latest poem was The Seagull.
The
It was
Seagull.
not translated. I had to interpret myself. I hope you won't be too critical of it. Now the idea is to share,
Yeah.
to convince, to encourage other colleagues around the world to do the same thing with their own natural literature, national literature, and natural for them, and share it with students around the world. In our discussions, well, unofficial,